Ancient pyramids rising from golden sands, vibrant coral reefs teeming with marine life, bustling bazaars filled with exotic treasures, and the mighty Nile flowing through it all, Egypt is a land where history and adventure await at every turn. I'm Robert from Wanderlust Explorers, and in this comprehensive guide I'll take you through everything you need to know to experience the magic of Egypt. From the iconic pyramids of Giza to hidden desert oases most tourists never see, this is the ultimate Egypt travel guide you won't want to miss. Welcome to Egypt, the timeless land where ancient wonders and modern life intertwine along the life-giving Nile. I'm Robert, your guide to this extraordinary country that has captivated travelers for millennia. Egypt stands as a living monument to one of humanity's greatest civilizations, where the past isn't simply preserved, it's an integral part of the present. This is a land of staggering contrasts and epic proportions. Here, the mighty pyramids of Giza, the last surviving wonder of the ancient world, rise from the desert's edge alongside the sprawling metropolis of Cairo. The lush Nile Valley, a verdant ribbon cutting through harsh desert landscapes, has nurtured civilization for over 5,000 years. And the turquoise waters of the Red Sea conceal vibrant coral reefs teeming with marine life just hours away from the arid mountains of Sinai. In this comprehensive guide, we'll journey from the Mediterranean shores of Alexandria to the temples of Abu Simbel near the Sudanese border. We'll explore bustling bazaars where trading traditions remain unchanged for centuries, and we'll sail on traditional feluccas as the sun sets over the Nile. You'll discover not only the iconic treasures that have made Egypt famous, the pyramids, the Sphinx, the tombs of Pharaohs, but also hidden gems off the typical tourist path. Beyond the extraordinary monuments, we'll introduce you to Egyptian culture, a complex tapestry woven from Pharaonic, Coptic, and Islamic threads. You'll learn about local customs, from the art of Egyptian hospitality to the proper etiquette for haggling in markets. We'll guide you through the country's distinctive cuisine, from street food favorites to elaborate feast dishes that reflect Egypt's position at the crossroads of Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East. Practical matters won't be overlooked. We'll cover the best times to visit different regions, transportation options, accommodation choices, and essential tips for navigating this fascinating but sometimes challenging destination. Whether you're planning to focus on archaeological wonders, seeking adventure in the desert or beneath the sea, or simply wanting to experience the legendary Egyptian hospitality, this guide will help you create an unforgettable journey. So join me as we explore a country where the ancient and modern worlds collide, where the extraordinary is ordinary, and where the mysteries of a magnificent civilization continue to inspire wonder. This is Egypt, a destination that has been drawing travelers since the time of the Pharaohs, and one that will leave an indelible mark on your soul. Our Egyptian journey begins in Cairo, the vibrant capital that serves as the gateway to this ancient land. This sprawling metropolis of over 20 million people straddles the Nile River and pulses with energy 24 hours a day. Cairo represents the perfect introduction to Egypt's fascinating blend of ancient wonders and contemporary life. At the edge of the city, where the urban sprawl meets the desert, stand the iconic pyramids of Giza, monuments so extraordinary, they've captivated humanity for millennia. The Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BCE, remained the tallest human-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. Standing 481 feet tall and composed of approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons, it represents one of humanity's most astonishing engineering achievements. Alongside stand the pyramids of Khafre and Menkaure, slightly smaller but no less impressive, forming this iconic ancient complex. Guarding these massive tombs is the enigmatic Great Sphinx, a limestone statue with the body of a lion and the head of a human, believed to represent Pharaoh Khafre. Carved from a single ridge of stone, this mysterious sentinel has watched over the Giza Plateau for over 4,500 years, despite extensive erosion and the loss of its nose and ceremonial beard. Visit at sunrise for the most magical experience, when golden light bathes the monuments and the crowds are at their thinnest. While the pyramids rightfully dominate visitors' attention, don't miss the Solar Boat Museum located nearby. This facility houses a remarkably preserved cedar wood boat discovered buried beside the Great Pyramid, a vessel meant to carry the pharaoh through the heavens in his afterlife journey. The meticulous reconstruction of this 4,500-year-old ship provides extraordinary insights into ancient Egyptian craftsmanship and religious beliefs. Returning to central Cairo, the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square houses the world's largest collection of pharaonic antiquities. The museum's crowning glory is the Tutankhamun collection, featuring the famous golden death mask and thousands of artifacts from the young king's tomb. The museum's somewhat chaotic organization actually adds to its charm. Every corner reveals another treasure from Egypt's golden age. Note that many artifacts are gradually being transferred to the new Grand Egyptian Museum near the pyramids, scheduled to be the world's largest archaeological museum when fully operational. For a deeper understanding of Islamic Cairo, head to the Citadel, a medieval fortification offering panoramic views over the city. Within its walls stands the magnificent Mosque of Muhammad Ali, with its distinctive Ottoman-style architecture and soaring alabaster dome. The mosque's spacious courtyard provides a peaceful retreat from the city's chaos, while the interior dazzles with hanging lamps, intricate decorations, and a sense of serene grandeur. No visit to Cairo is complete without experiencing Khan el-Khalili, the city's main souk, market, dating back to the 14th century. This labyrinthine bazaar invites you to get pleasantly lost among alleys filled with everything from tourist trinkets to fine jewelry, spices, copperwork, and textiles. Stop at El Fishawi, a historic cafe where the Nobel Prize-winning author Naguib Mahfouz often wrote, for a traditional mint tea or strong Egyptian coffee. The market is particularly atmospheric in the evening when lanterns illuminate the medieval architecture. For a taste of Coptic or Egyptian Christian heritage, visit Coptic Cairo, a historic area containing Babylon Fortress, the Coptic Museum and several ancient churches. The Hanging Church, built atop the fortress gatehouse, features beautiful wooden ceilings and 110 icons depicting religious scenes. Nearby, the Church of St. Sergius and Bacchus is built over a crypt where tradition holds the Holy Family stayed during their flight to Egypt. Modern Cairo offers its own attractions, from the contemporary art galleries of Zamalek district to the bustling downtown area rebuilt in the 19th century to resemble Paris. The Cairo Tower provides spectacular views, especially at sunset, when the city's thousands of minarets are silhouetted against the golden sky. For a unique perspective, take an evening felucca, a traditional sailboat, ride on the Nile, watching city lights reflect on the water as you glide past skyscrapers and bridges. Cairo's culinary scene deserves exploration, from street food vendors selling ta'ameh or Egyptian falafel, and koshari, a hearty mix of rice, lentils and pasta topped with spicy tomato sauce, to upscale restaurants serving refined versions of traditional dishes. The city never truly sleeps, with cafes and awas or traditional coffee houses buzzing with conversation and shisha smoke late into the night. While Cairo's traffic, pollution and noise can be overwhelming, the city rewards those who embrace its controlled chaos. Between the ancient wonders and modern energy, Cairo offers an exhilarating introduction to the many layers of Egyptian culture and history that we'll continue to explore throughout our journey. From Cairo, we journey south to Luxor, the site of ancient Thebes and arguably the world's greatest open-air museum. Here, along the banks of the Nile, the pharaohs of Egypt's New Kingdom, from 1550 to 1070 BCE, created monuments of such scale and beauty that they continue to astonish visitors thousands of years later. Luxor offers the most concentrated collection of architectural marvels and artistic treasures anywhere in Egypt, divided between the east and west banks of the Nile. The East Bank, where most of modern Luxor is situated, was known to the ancient Egyptians as the City of the Living. At its heart stands the magnificent Karnak Temple Complex, a vast open-air museum covering over 200 acres. Developed over more than 1,500 years by generation after generation of pharaohs, Karnak was the most important place of worship in ancient Egypt during its peak. The Great Hypostyle Hall remains its most impressive feature, a forest of 134 massive columns arranged in 16 rows, with the central column soaring to 80 feet. Each column is carved with hieroglyphics and religious imagery, once brightly painted and still retaining traces of original color. Visit in the early morning to experience the play of light through the columns and avoid the midday heat. Connected to Karnak by the Avenue of Sphinxes, a 1.7-mile processional route lined with Sphinx statues, is Luxor Temple. Unlike most Egyptian temples dedicated to a specific deity, Luxor Temple was dedicated to the rejuvenation of kingship, possibly the site where many pharaohs were crowned. What makes this temple particularly special is its location in the heart of modern Luxor, creating a dramatic juxtaposition of ancient and contemporary life. The temple is especially magical when illuminated at night, its massive columns and statues casting dramatic shadows against the evening sky. The Luxor Museum, though smaller than Cairo's Egyptian Museum, offers a beautifully curated collection of artifacts discovered in the Theban area. The quality of the exhibits and the clarity of information make this an excellent place to deepen your understanding of ancient Egyptian art and history. Highlights include statues of Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, and Ramses II, as well as a collection of objects from Tutankhamun's tomb. Crossing to the West Bank, known to the ancients as the City of the Dead, reveals an entirely different aspect of Luxor's archaeological treasures. Here, in the barren hills and valleys facing the sunrise, the pharaohs constructed elaborate tombs and mortuary temples. The Valley of the Kings contains over 60 tombs of pharaohs and nobles, including the famous tomb of Tutankhamun, discovered by Howard Carter in 1922. While Tutankhamun's tomb is relatively modest, most of its treasures are now in museums. Other tombs feature extensive chambers with walls covered in vivid paintings depicting the pharaoh's journey through the afterlife. The tombs of Seti I and Ramses VI are particularly impressive for their well-preserved decorations and grand scale. Nearby, the Valley of the Queens contains tombs of royal wives and princes. The most spectacular is the tomb of Queen Nefertari, wife of Ramses II, often described as the Sistine Chapel of ancient Egypt for its exquisitely painted scenes, showing the queen's journey to the afterlife. The colors remain remarkably vibrant after more than 3,000 years, and the artistic quality is unmatched anywhere in Egypt. Due to conservation concerns, visitor numbers are strictly limited, so advance booking is essential. Between the Valley of the Kings and the cultivated land along the Nile stand several mortuary temples designed for the worship of deceased pharaohs. The Temple of Hatshepsut at Deir el-Bahari is the most distinctive, with its 3 terraced levels set against the dramatic backdrop of sheer limestone cliffs. Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's few female pharaohs, created this architectural masterpiece to legitimize her reign and ensure her immortality. The temple's clean lines and harmonious proportions make it appear almost modern in design, despite being over 3,500 years old. The Colossi of Memnon, 2 massive stone statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep III, stand as lonely sentinels guarding the entrance to what was once the largest mortuary temple in Egypt, now mostly destroyed. Rising 60 feet above the plain, these weathered figures have inspired legends since ancient Greek and Roman times, when the northern statue was said to sing at dawn, likely due to the passage of air through cracks in the stone after cool nights. Less visited but equally fascinating is Medinet Habu, the mortuary temple of Ramses III. This well-preserved complex features massive pylons decorated with scenes of the pharaoh's military victories, particularly over the mysterious sea peoples. The temple's colorful reliefs provide valuable insights into ancient warfare and religious practices, while its relative tranquility offers a welcome respite from the crowds at better-known sites. For a different perspective on ancient Thebes, visit the ruins of Deir el-Medina, the village that housed the skilled artisans who created the royal tombs. This archaeological site offers a rare glimpse into the daily lives of ordinary, albeit highly skilled ancient Egyptians. The workers' own tombs, though smaller than royal ones, contain beautifully executed scenes of daily life rather than religious imagery. Modern Luxor offers pleasant accommodations along the Nile, from luxury cruise ships and historic hotels to budget-friendly guest houses. The pace of life is more relaxed than in Cairo, with feluccas sailing the river at sunset and horse-drawn carriages or calèches clip-clopping through the streets. Local restaurants serve excellent versions of Egyptian classics, often with outdoor seating offering views of illuminated temples across the river. Continuing our journey south along the Nile, we arrive at Aswan, Egypt's southernmost major tourist destination, and a city with a distinctly African atmosphere. Here the Nile is at its most majestic, flowing around granite islands and past palm-fringed shores. The pace of life slows noticeably in Aswan, making it the perfect place to experience the timeless rhythm of the river that has been Egypt's lifeblood for millennia. Aswan has been strategically important since ancient times as Egypt's gateway to Nubia and sub-Saharan Africa. The ancient Egyptians quarried the area's distinctive pink and gray granite to build obelisks and monuments throughout the kingdom. You can still see evidence of this industry at the northern quarries, where the unfinished obelisk lies abandoned in its stone bed. Commissioned by Queen Hatshepsut, this would have been the largest obelisk ever erected in Egypt, standing nearly 137 feet tall and weighing approximately 1,200 tons. When cracks appeared during excavation, the project was abandoned, leaving us with valuable insights into ancient quarrying techniques. The modern Aswan High Dam, completed in 1970, transformed Egypt by controlling the annual Nile flood that had defined Egyptian agriculture for thousands of years. The dam created Lake Nasser, one of the world's largest artificial lakes, and generates hydroelectric power that supplies much of Egypt's electricity. While not architecturally beautiful, the dam's massive scale and crucial importance to modern Egypt make it worth visiting. The older, British-built Low Dam, completed in 1902, is more aesthetically pleasing with its granite facing and series of elegant arches. One of Aswan's most enchanting sights is Philae Temple, dedicated to the goddess Isis. Originally located on Philae Island, the temple was dismantled and relocated to nearby Ajilkia Island when the completion of the Aswan High Dam threatened to submerge it permanently. This UNESCO-led rescue operation preserved one of Egypt's most beautiful temples, a blend of Egyptian and Greco-Roman architectural styles. The temple is particularly magical when experienced during the sound and light show in the evening, with colorful illuminations highlighting the detailed carvings as the story of Isis and Osiris unfolds. For a taste of local culture, visit the vibrant Aswan market, stretching from the train station to the waterfront. Unlike the more tourist-oriented Khan el-Khalili in Cairo, Aswan's market caters primarily to locals, offering a more authentic shopping experience. Here you'll find fragrant spices piled high in colorful mounds, traditional Nubian handicrafts, fresh produce, and the distinctive scent of hibiscus flowers used to make karkade, a popular Egyptian beverage. The market is especially lively in the evening when temperatures cool and families come out to shop and socialize. The Nubian Museum provides fascinating insights into the rich culture of Nubia, the region stretching from southern Egypt into northern Sudan. This excellently curated museum showcases the history, art, and traditions of the Nubian people, whose ancient civilization developed alongside Egypt's, but maintained its distinctive character. The museum's garden contains reconstructed Nubian houses and life-sized models demonstrating traditional crafts and customs. For a truly memorable experience, take a felucca ride around Elephantine Island and the other small islands dotting the Nile at Aswan. These graceful traditional sailboats with their distinctive triangular sails have navigated the Nile for thousands of years. As you glide silently across the water, you'll pass the lush Kitchener's Island, now the Aswan Botanical Garden, with its exotic collection of plants from around the world, and the Aga Khan Mausoleum perched majestically on the western bank. A short boat ride brings you to Elephantine Island, Aswan's largest island, and home to several important archaeological sites, including the Temple of Khnum and the Nilometer used by ancient Egyptians to measure the annual flood levels. The island also houses colorful Nubian villages, where residents maintain their distinctive architectural style and cultural traditions. Many families welcome visitors into their homes to share traditional Nubian tea and demonstrate local crafts. About 140 miles south of Aswan lies Abu Simbel, perhaps the most impressive monument in all of Egypt after the pyramids. Built by Ramses II in the 13th century BCE, this massive temple complex was carved directly into a mountainside overlooking what is now Lake Nasser. The Great Temple features 4 colossal seated statues of Ramses II at its entrance, each standing 66 feet tall. Beside it stands the smaller but equally beautiful Temple of Hathor, dedicated to Queen Nefertari, Ramses's favorite wife. What makes Abu Simbel even more remarkable is that the entire complex was dismantled and moved to higher ground in the 1960s, when the creation of Lake Nasser threatened to submerge it forever. This monumental UNESCO-led rescue operation preserved one of Egypt's greatest treasures, and stands as one of archaeology's greatest achievements. The temples were carefully rebuilt in exactly the same orientation, allowing the sun to penetrate the Great Temple's inner sanctuary twice a year. On February 22nd, Ramses II's birthday, and October 22nd, his coronation day, illuminating statues of Ramses and the gods to whom the temple was dedicated. Most visitors reach Abu Simbel on a day trip from Aswan, either by air or in a convoy of vehicles departing early in the morning. While the journey is long, the sight of these magnificent temples as the sun rises over Lake Nasser is truly unforgettable and well worth the effort.
Shifting our focus to Egypt's northern edge, we travel to Alexandria, the legendary city founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE. Stretching along the Mediterranean coast, Alexandria offers a distinctly different flavor from the rest of Egypt, more Mediterranean than Middle Eastern, with a cosmopolitan heritage reflecting its history as one of the ancient world's greatest centers of learning and commerce. Modern Alexandria is Egypt's second-largest city and busiest port, a sprawling metropolis of over 5 million people. While many of its ancient wonders have been lost to time, earthquakes, and the sea, the city retains a special atmosphere and several important sites that connect visitors to its illustrious past. The most famous lost treasure of Alexandria was its ancient library, the greatest collection of knowledge in the ancient world. Today, the spirit of that institution lives on in the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a stunning modern library and cultural center inaugurated in 2002. This architectural masterpiece features a massive circular main reading room beneath a tilted glass roof resembling a solar disk rising from the Mediterranean. The complex houses multiple specialized libraries, museums, art galleries, and a planetarium. Even if you're not a bibliophile, the building itself is worth visiting for its innovative design and the beautiful calligraphy-inspired carvings adorning its exterior walls. Near the library stands the site of the ancient Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Though the lighthouse was destroyed by earthquakes centuries ago, its foundation was used to build the Qaitbay Citadel in the 15th century. This picturesque fortress now houses a maritime museum, but its greatest appeal lies in its strategic position overlooking the eastern harbor, offering spectacular views of the Mediterranean and the city's corniche. For a glimpse into Alexandria's Greco-Roman past, visit the Kom el-Dika archaeological site in the heart of the city. This complex includes well-preserved Roman villas, baths, and a small but remarkably intact Roman amphitheater, the only one of its kind in Egypt. Nearby, the catacombs of Kom el-Sheikh represent a fascinating blend of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman funerary art. These underground tombs, discovered accidentally in 1900 when a donkey disappeared through a hole in the ground, feature chambers decorated with scenes showing Egyptian deities dressed in Roman armor and other hybrid artistic elements. One of Alexandria's most atmospheric sites is the Montaza Palace and Gardens, a vast complex combining two palaces built by the former royal family. The extensive gardens, with their mix of carefully manicured lawns, flower beds and palm groves, provide a peaceful retreat from the city's hustle. The complex also includes a public beach where you can swim in the Mediterranean, a refreshing change from the historical sightseeing that dominates most Egyptian itineraries. Alexandria's Corniche stretches for over 10 miles along the Mediterranean, lined with beaches, restaurants and cafes. An evening stroll along this seafront promenade offers a glimpse into local life as families gather to socialize. Young couples enjoy romantic walks and fishermen cast their lines into the sea. The Stanley Bridge, with its distinctive Islamic-inspired design, has become one of the city's modern landmarks and a popular spot for photographs. The city's cosmopolitan heritage is reflected in its religious buildings. The imposing Abu al-Abbas al-Mursi Mosque, with its cream-colored walls and soaring minarets, is Alexandria's largest Islamic monument. Not far away stands St. Mark's Coptic Orthodox Cathedral, an important center for Egypt's Christian community. Alexandria was also home to one of the ancient world's largest Jewish communities, though only the recently restored Eliyahu Hanavi Synagogue remains as testament to this history. Alexandria's cuisine deserves special mention, particularly its excellent seafood. Waterfront restaurants serve the day's fresh catch prepared in Mediterranean style, often grilled simply with olive oil, lemon and herbs. The city is also famous for its ice cream and pastries, reflecting the influence of its once substantial Greek and Italian communities. Beyond Alexandria, Egypt's Mediterranean coast stretches east toward the Sinai Peninsula and west toward Libya. The north coast, or Sahel as Egyptians call the western stretch, has developed into a summer playground for wealthy Cairenes escaping the capital's heat. Resorts like Marina and Marassi offer pristine beaches and clear waters, though they largely shut down outside the summer season. For a more authentic coastal experience, visit Rosetta, Rashid, the town where the famous Rosetta Stone was discovered in 1799. This small delta town features excellent examples of Ottoman-era merchant houses with distinctive mashrabiyah, wooden lattice windows, and intricate brickwork. The town receives few foreign visitors despite its historical significance, offering a glimpse of Egyptian coastal life untouched by mass tourism. Beyond Egypt's magnificent monuments and natural wonders lies a vibrant, complex society with traditions stretching back millennia while simultaneously embracing modernity. Understanding Egyptian culture enhances your travel experience immeasurably, transforming you from a passive observer to an engaged participant in this fascinating country's daily life. Religion plays a central role in Egyptian society. Today, about 90% of Egyptians are Sunni Muslims, with Coptic Christians forming the largest minority at roughly 10%. Religious identity influences many aspects of daily life, from the call to prayer that echoes across cities and villages 5 times daily to the rhythm of religious holidays that punctuate the year. During Ramadan, the holy month when Muslims fast from dawn to sunset, the entire country's schedule shifts, with businesses opening later and staying open well into the night as families gather for iftar, the breaking of the fast, and suhoor, the pre-dawn meal. Despite being a predominantly Muslim country, Egypt has a relatively moderate religious atmosphere compared to some of its neighbors. In major cities and tourist areas, dress codes are fairly relaxed, though modest attire is appreciated, particularly when visiting religious sites. Women are not required to cover their hair except when entering mosques, where scarves are typically available to borrow at the entrance. Alcohol is available in tourist establishments and some local restaurants, though public intoxication is frowned upon. Family forms the cornerstone of Egyptian society, with strong intergenerational bonds and extended family networks providing social and economic support. Traditional gender roles remain influential, though they're evolving rapidly, especially in urban areas where women increasingly pursue higher education and professional careers. In rural regions, more conservative attitudes prevail, with clearer divisions between male and female spheres of activity. Egyptian hospitality is legendary and genuine. If you're fortunate enough to be invited into an Egyptian home, you'll likely be overwhelmed with food, drink, and generosity. Refusing offerings can seem impolite, though a gentle shukran kafaya, thank you enough, will eventually be accepted. Small gifts for the host, particularly sweets or items from your home country, are always appreciated but never expected. Communication in Egypt involves more than just words. Egyptians tend to be expressive, using elaborate hand gestures and maintaining closer physical proximity during conversations than Westerners might be accustomed to. Eye contact is important, though prolonged eye contact between men and women may be misinterpreted. Learning a few Arabic phrases demonstrates respect for local culture and often results in delighted responses and even more effusive hospitality. The Egyptian sense of humor deserves special mention. Despite, or perhaps because of, the challenges of daily life, Egyptians maintain a remarkable ability to find humor in almost any situation. Self-deprecating jokes, clever wordplay, and good-natured teasing are all part of everyday interaction. This resilient spirit has helped Egyptians navigate the often turbulent currents of their modern history while maintaining their distinctive cultural identity. Egyptian cuisine reflects the country's history as a crossroads of civilizations, with influences from throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and the Mediterranean. Food is central to social life, with meals being communal affairs where dishes are shared from common platters. Bread, aish baladi, accompanies virtually every meal, used both as food and as a utensil to scoop up dips and stews. Breakfast often features full medam, stewed fava beans, and ta'ameya, Egyptian falafel made with fava beans rather than chickpeas, while lunch, traditionally the main meal, might include koshari, a hearty mix of rice, lentils, pasta and tomato sauce, or molokhia, a green soup made from jute leaves, served with chicken or rabbit. Street food culture thrives throughout Egypt, offering quick, inexpensive options like shawarma, grilled meat in bread, and hawashi, spiced meat in pita. Tea, or chai, serves as the national drink, typically served very sweet unless you specifically request otherwise. Coffee culture also thrives, particularly in Cairo, where traditional awaz, or coffee houses, provide gathering places for men to socialize, play backgammon, and discuss everything from politics to football. In more traditional areas, these remain primarily male domains, though this is changing in urban centers where modern cafes welcome mixed groups. The arts have flourished in Egypt since ancient times. Music remains particularly important, with styles ranging from classical Arabic orchestras to shabi, or popular music blending traditional sounds with electronic elements. The distinctive sound of the oud, a stringed instrument, and the rhythmic darbuka drum form the backbone of traditional music, while contemporary Egyptian pop stars enjoy popularity throughout the Arabic-speaking world. The cinema has been significant in Egyptian cultural life since the early 20th century, with Cairo once known as the Hollywood of the Middle East. Egyptian films and television series are exported throughout the Arab world, and despite recent challenges, the industry continues to produce works that address social issues and showcase Egyptian talent. Literature has a distinguished history in Egypt, from ancient hieroglyphic texts to the works of Nobel Prize winner Naguib Mahfouz, whose Cairo trilogy provides profound insights into Egyptian society during the early 20th century. Contemporary authors like Ala al-Aswani, known for the Yaqubian building, continue to produce internationally acclaimed works exploring modern Egyptian life. Traditional crafts maintain their importance both culturally and economically. Skilled artisans create intricate metalwork, hand-blown glass, pottery, textiles, and woodwork, using techniques passed down through generations. While mass-produced souvenirs dominate many tourist markets, authentic workshops can still be found, particularly in Islamic Cairo and in rural areas where specific villages often specialize in particular crafts. Modern Egyptian life balances tradition with the pressures of globalization and rapid social change. Young Egyptians navigate between traditional values and contemporary influences, creating new cultural expressions that honor their heritage while engaging with global trends. Social media has transformed communication, particularly for urban youth, while traditional forms of socializing, from family gatherings to neighborhood cafes, maintain their central importance in Egyptian life. Understanding these cultural nuances enriches your Egyptian journey immeasurably, transforming tourist experiences into meaningful cultural exchanges and creating memories that extend far beyond photographs of ancient monuments. To make the most of your Egyptian adventure, let's cover essential practical information that will help you navigate this fascinating but sometimes challenging destination with confidence. From visa requirements to transportation options, from health considerations to cultural etiquette, these insights will ensure a smoother and more enjoyable journey through the land of the Pharaohs. Most visitors to Egypt require a visa, which can be obtained in several ways. For many nationalities, including US, UK, EU, Australian and Canadian citizens, the simplest option is the e-visa, available through the official Egyptian government website. Apply at least 7 days before travel for this 30-day tourist visa, which costs $25 for single entry or $60 for multiple entries. Alternatively, visas on arrival are available at Egyptian airports for the same fee, though this may involve waiting in line after a long flight. If your travel plans include only the Sinai Peninsula resorts like Sharm El-Sheikh for fewer than 15 days, you may be eligible for a free entry stamp upon arrival, but this restricts your movements to the eastern Sinai region only. Egypt's currency is the Egyptian pound, often abbreviated as LE. While credit cards are accepted at major hotels, restaurants and shops in tourist areas, cash remains essential for smaller establishments, markets and tips. ATMs are widely available in cities and tourist destinations, though it's advisable to carry some backup cash. US dollars and euros are easily exchanged and sometimes accepted directly for larger purchases. Inform your bank of your travel plans to prevent your cards from being blocked for suspicious activity. Tipping, known locally as bakshish, is deeply ingrained in Egyptian culture and economy. Service workers often receive minimal salaries with the expectation that tips will form a significant portion of their income. In restaurants, 10 to 15% is standard, even when a service charge is included. This rarely goes to the staff. Hotel porters expect about 10 LE per bag, while housekeeping staff appreciate 10 to 20 LE per day. Tour guides and drivers typically receive 100 to 150 LE per day for guides and 50 to 100 LE for drivers. Attendants at monuments, museums and restrooms generally expect 5 to 10 LE. Egypt's transportation infrastructure varies widely in quality and comfort. For long distances, domestic flights connect major cities and tourist hubs, saving considerable time compared to land travel. Egypt Air and several budget carriers offer regular services, with flights from Cairo to Luxor or Aswan taking just over an hour compared to a 9 to 12-hour train or bus journey. Trains provide a comfortable and affordable option for travel along the Nile corridor between Cairo, Luxor and Aswan. First-class air-conditioned carriages offer assigned seating and basic amenities, while the overnight sleeper train provides private cabins with beds, though at a premium price. Train tickets can be purchased online through the official Egyptian National Railways website or at stations, though the latter may involve language barriers and confusion. For shorter distances, private taxis are convenient but require negotiation before departure or insistence on using the meter. Ride-hailing apps like Uber and Careem operate in major cities, offering more transparent pricing. Within cities, the metro system in Cairo is efficient, incredibly affordable, and includes women-only cars. Microbuses and tuk-tuks serve local routes in cities and villages, but can be challenging for non-Arabic speakers to navigate. For visiting the pyramids and other spread-out archaeological sites, consider hiring a driver for the day through your hotel or a reputable travel agency. This provides flexibility and comfort at a reasonable cost, especially when shared among several travelers. Accommodation options in Egypt span from international luxury chains to basic local guest houses. In major tourist destinations, five-star properties offer world-class amenities, often at prices considerably lower than equivalent hotels in Europe or North America. Mid-range options provide comfortable bases for exploration, while budget travelers can find clean, simple rooms in locally owned establishments. In more remote areas like the Western Desert Oases, expectations should be adjusted as facilities may be more basic. For a unique experience, consider a Nile cruise between Luxor and Aswan. These floating hotels range from opulent vessels with pools and gourmet dining to simpler boats with basic amenities. Most cruises include guided excursions to major temples along the route, creating a convenient way to explore Upper Egypt while enjoying constantly changing views from your cabin. Health considerations should include standard travel precautions. Tap water is not safe to drink. Stick to bottled water, which is widely available. The infamous Pharaohs' revenge, travelers' diarrhea, can be minimized by avoiding uncooked vegetables, unpeeled fruits, and street food from questionable vendors. Carry hand sanitizer and use it frequently, particularly before meals. The intense heat, especially in summer, necessitates staying hydrated, wearing sun protection, and avoiding extended outdoor activities during the hottest hours, roughly 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A travel insurance with good medical coverage is essential, as quality healthcare is limited outside major cities. Bring any prescription medications you need in their original packaging, along with a basic first aid kit including remedies for stomach issues, pain relievers, and any personal medications. Safety concerns often arise when discussing travel to Egypt, but the reality is that the country is generally safe for tourists who exercise common sense. Tourist areas have significant security presence, and violent crime against foreigners is rare. The most common issues involve aggressive vendors, petty scams, and occasional pickpocketing in crowded areas. Women travelers may experience unwanted attention or harassment, particularly when alone. Dressing modestly, projecting confidence, and firmly ignoring unwanted approaches usually suffice to handle these situations. Political demonstrations should be avoided, as should discussions of sensitive political topics with locals, unless they initiate the conversation. Photography restrictions apply at airports, bridges, and some military or government buildings. When in doubt, ask before taking pictures. Communication can present challenges as English proficiency varies widely. In tourist areas, many Egyptians working in the industry speak functional English and often several other languages. Learning a few Arabic phrases demonstrates respect and often results in warmer interactions. A translation app on your smartphone can help bridge gaps, and having your hotel's name and address written in Arabic is useful for taxi drivers. Internet access is widely available through hotel Wi-Fi and local SIM cards, which can be purchased at the airport or from mobile provider shops in cities. Coverage is generally good in populated areas, but may be limited in remote desert regions. The best time to visit Egypt depends on your planned activities and tolerance for heat. October through April offers the most comfortable temperatures for sightseeing in Cairo and Upper Egypt, though December and January can be surprisingly cool, especially in the evenings. The summer months, June through September, bring intense heat to the Nile Valley, with temperatures regularly exceeding 40 degrees Celsius, making extended outdoor exploration challenging. However, this is the perfect time for Red Sea resorts, where sea breezes moderate the temperature and the water is ideal for swimming and diving. Finally, managing expectations is crucial for enjoying Egypt. The country offers extraordinary experiences, but also presents logistical challenges, cultural differences, and occasionally frustrating bureaucracy. Approaching your journey with patience, flexibility, and a sense of humor will transform potential annoyances into part of the adventure, leaving you with lasting memories of this remarkable destination. Egypt's climate varies significantly by region and season, creating distinct travel experiences throughout the year. Understanding these seasonal patterns helps you plan the optimal itinerary for your interests, whether you're exploring ancient monuments, diving coral reefs, or experiencing local culture and festivals. Winter, from December to February, offers the most pleasant temperatures for exploring Cairo and the Nile Valley, with daytime highs averaging 20 to 25 degrees Celsius or 68 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and cool evenings that may require a light jacket. This comfortable weather makes it ideal for visiting archaeological sites without the exhaustion that summer heat can bring. However, this is also peak tourist season, meaning higher prices, larger crowds at major attractions, and the need to book accommodations and Nile cruises well in advance. The Christmas and New Year period is particularly busy, with many European visitors escaping their winter for Egypt's milder climate. Winter in the desert brings cold nights, with temperatures sometimes approaching freezing, especially in elevated areas like St. Catherine's in Sinai. Desert camping requires warm sleeping bags and proper layers. Conversely, the Red Sea coast remains relatively warm even in winter, with water temperatures around 22 degrees Celsius or 72 degrees Fahrenheit, comfortable for diving with a 5mm wetsuit, though some may prefer a slightly thicker one. Spring, from March to May, offers an excellent balance of comfortable temperatures and smaller crowds as the peak season winds down. March and April are particularly pleasant, with warm days, mild evenings, and desert landscapes briefly transformed by wildflowers after winter rains. By May, temperatures begin climbing significantly in Upper Egypt, such as Luxor and Aswan, sometimes reaching the mid-30s degrees Celsius or mid-90s degrees Fahrenheit, though mornings remain comfortable for sightseeing. Spring brings the possibility of the Kamsin hot, dry windstorms that blow in from the Sahara, filling the air with sand and dust for several days at a time. Summer, from June to August, brings extreme heat to Cairo and especially Upper Egypt, with temperatures regularly exceeding 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit in Luxor and Aswan. This makes extended visits to outdoor archaeological sites challenging, though early morning explorations remain possible. The advantage of summer travel is significantly lower prices and fewer crowds at major attractions, allowing for more intimate experiences at temples and tombs. Air-conditioned museums like the Egyptian Museum in Cairo and indoor sites like the Luxor Museum become particularly appealing during the midday heat. Summer is high season for Egypt's coastal resorts, with Europeans on holiday flocking to Sharm El-Sheikh, Hurghada, and other beach destinations. The Red Sea offers perfect conditions for swimming and diving, with water temperatures around 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing for comfortable snorkeling without wetsuits. Fall, from September to November, mirrors spring's advantages, with gradually moderating temperatures and fewer tourists before the winter peak season begins. By October, conditions become ideal throughout the country, with comfortable temperatures for sightseeing and water still warm enough for beach activities. The shoulder season offers good value and a more relaxed atmosphere at major sites. November sees the beginning of the winter tourist influx, but still offers reasonable prices compared to December and January. Beyond temperature considerations, Egypt's cultural calendar includes several significant festivals worth considering in your planning. The most important is Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting, which shifts earlier by about 11 days each year due to the lunar calendar. During Ramadan, daily rhythms change dramatically, with many businesses operating on reduced hours during the day, but staying open late into the night. While tourists are not expected to fast, eating, drinking, or smoking in public during daylight hours is considered disrespectful. The evenings, however, become particularly vibrant after iftar, or breaking the fast, with special foods, decorations, and a festive atmosphere in cities and villages. Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan, and Eid al-Adha, commemorating Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son, are major holidays when Egyptians travel to visit family. These periods bring crowded transportation and closed government offices, but also colorful celebrations and insights into local traditions. Sharm el-Nessim, an ancient spring festival now celebrated by all Egyptians regardless of religion, falls on the Monday after Coptic Easter and typically involves picnics in parks and along the Nile. For budget-conscious travelers, these summer months offer the lowest prices for accommodations and tours in the Nile Valley, though the trade-off is challenging heat. Conversely, December and January see premium pricing throughout the country. The shoulder seasons of spring and fall generally offer the best combination of reasonable prices and comfortable conditions. When planning your Egyptian itinerary, consider combining regions with complementary seasonal advantages. For example, a winter trip might begin with the Nile Valley monuments, then move to the Red Sea for diving and beach relaxation, even though water temperatures are cooler. A summer visit could focus on coastal areas and early morning or evening visits to nearby archaeological sites, avoiding midday heat. As we conclude our journey through Egypt, it's worth reflecting on what makes this destination so enduringly fascinating. Few places on Earth offer such a tangible connection to an ancient civilization while simultaneously presenting the complex reality of a modern nation navigating the 21st century. The monuments that have drawn travelers for millennia continue to inspire awe, not just for their scale and beauty, but for what they reveal about human ingenuity and our eternal quest for meaning and immortality. Yet Egypt is far more than its ancient stones. It's the warmth of its people who maintain remarkable hospitality and good humor despite the challenges of daily life. It's the sensory richness of its cities, where the call to prayer mingles with street vendors' cries and the aroma of freshly baked bread. It's the stark beauty of its deserts and the vibrant life of its waters. It's a place where history isn't confined to museums but remains a living presence, influencing everything from art to politics to daily conversations. Whether you're standing in the shadow of the pyramids, sailing on a felucca as the sun sets over the Nile, diving among colorful coral reefs, or simply sharing tea with locals in a village courtyard, Egypt offers experiences that resonate on a profound level. The country challenges, frustrates, delights, and ultimately rewards those who approach it with open minds and hearts. Whatever draws you to Egypt, its ancient wonders, natural beauty, cultural richness, or spiritual significance, you'll likely depart with something unexpected, a deeper connection to both our shared human past and the vibrant, complex present of this extraordinary land. If you've enjoyed this comprehensive guide to Egypt, please hit that like button and subscribe to Wanderlust Explorers for more in-depth travel guides to fascinating destinations around the world. Share this video with friends and family who might be planning their own Egyptian adventure. And we'd love to hear about your experiences in Egypt. Have you visited any of these amazing places? Do you have questions about planning your trip? Drop them in the comments below. Until our next adventure, this is Robert from Wanderlust Explorers. Safe travels, everyone.
If you've enjoyed exploring the wonders of Egypt in this comprehensive guide, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Epic Travel 360 for more inspiring journeys around the globe. Do you know someone dreaming about pyramids, the Nile, or vibrant Red Sea reefs? Share this video to help them plan their ultimate Egyptian adventure. Have you traveled to Egypt already, or are you planning your own epic trip? Drop your experiences, questions, or favorite spots in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation. Until our next adventure, this is Robert from Epic Travel 360. Safe travels, everyone.